Okay, I hope you are all enjoying dinner. Obviously, great conversation this evening. We are getting ready to get the program started. So, hope your dinner was wonderful and you're in for a good show because we do have a lot to celebrate tonight. So, let's enjoy the program.
I always knew that one day I would come back to serve the institution that prepared me for lifelong success. I'm Charmel Green, Deputy Athletics Director, Chief Operating Officer for the University of Utah. When I was playing softball here, what was most important was the success of my team. And the accolades, they weren't the things that I was striving for, they just happened. And I'm grateful for having been able to achieve an All-American status and all-region and all-conference, but the magic was the teammates that I had and how hard we fought to succeed.
Well, if Charmel Green gets on, I think Green with her speed will have no problem scoring at all.
Title IX is, I think, so incredibly important and has allowed, higher education and institutions to be thoughtful about how they allocate resources. I knew that my family wouldn't be able to afford to send me to college, and so a scholarship was really important for me. And it's so important for institutions of higher learning to allow us to thrive. Women are amazing. We do great things. We are great leaders, and Title IX has allowed us to do just that.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited. I just learned that we won the tires, so I will get new tires on my car here soon. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's celebration of 50 years of Title IX and the history of women's sports at the U. It is truly an honor to be here with you as we pay tribute to the past, embrace the present, and look forward to the future. I want to take a moment to thank those who provided great support in our efforts to bring this celebration to fruition, including Director of Athletics Mark Harlan, Utes with Wings Advisory Board, America First Credit Union, Under Armour, Sports Den, Learfield, our athletics teams, and the many alumni and friends of our athletics program who purchased tables or donated items for the silent auction. Let's give this group a round of applause. I'd also like to give a special shout out to the committee members and our creative team that brought their passion, talents, and countless hours of planning to make this a special event for all. Please stand to be recognized when your name is called. Sean Farrell, Paul Kirk, Olivia Hall, Grace McEachern, Mike Lagerschult, Tricia Hughes, Lisa Bullion, Joelle Ferguson, Abby Harris, Steve Smith, Douglas Wilson, Megan Freshour, Sarah Ramund, Forrest Gamitro, Alyssa Morris, Aaron Jester, Zach Blang, Dirk Facer, and our student interns. Let's give this group a huge round of applause. When I was thinking about what I wanted to say tonight, I remembered the conversation I had with Megan Marsden when I asked her to speak at this event. She was thrilled to be asked, but she also expressed how emotional she gets when sharing her story, her memories of being a coach, and her immense gratitude for the opportunities and support this place, the University of Utah, provided her as a student, an athlete, and a coach. My response to Megan was, I get it, because I too get emotional when I think about the impact that the University of Utah has had on my life. I can say very confidently that my life would have been vastly different if it weren't for the positive influence of Fern Gardner, Norma Carr, Liz Abel, Brenda Yamagata, and of course my dear friend, coach and mentor, Joe Evans. These women had a great influence on my life many years ago when I was an undergraduate student and member of the softball team. Their inspiration not only helped me build confidence as a young and ambitious Black woman, but they taught me the importance of being disciplined, having a great work ethic, leading by example, and being a great teammate. They taught me to be responsible and accountable for my actions. I am forever grateful for the lessons I learned from these amazing women. They have shaped who I am as a person and the leader I strive to be. Lastly, I want to thank Director of Athletics Mark Harlan for bringing us home and reuniting us with this amazing Utah community. Matt and I are truly grateful for you and Carolyn and grateful for this incredible opportunity. I promise you, we will never take this for granted. Thank you, and let's have a great night. Go Utes.
She is amazing, and her energy is contagious. Just love that woman. Well, we know a little over 50 years ago, Title IX was signed into law as part of the Education Amendments Act. That was on June 23rd, 1972. Well, a few years later, it was about education then. A few years later, women's scholarship athletics programs were launched here at the University of Utah. And tonight, we are here to share our stories of opportunity, empowerment, and legacy with all of you so you can continue the progress here. Please direct your attention to the video screens now as some of our current Utah female student athletes are reminding us of the 37 words that changed everything.
Title IX.
Title IX.
Title IX of the Education Amendments
of 1972.
No person in the United States shall,
On the basis of sex.
On the basis of sex.
be excluded from,
Participation in.
be denied the benefits of,
or be subjected to discrimination.
Discrimination.
Under any educational program.
Or activity.
receiving federal financial assistance.
June 23rd,
1972.
June 23rd, 1972.
Amazing, beautiful, strong ladies who now have an incredible opportunity. And right now, speaking of opportunity, it's my honor to introduce our first featured presenter of the evening, who's had a huge influence on hundreds of women, just like the ones we just heard from. Elaine Elliott was the head coach of the Utah women's basketball team for 27 seasons. Head coach from 1983 to 2010, quite a run. She took over for her mentor, Fern Gardner, who we hear a lot about tonight. Fern is here. She transitioned into athletic administration full-time, so Elaine took over. And Elaine has recorded 582 victories. That means 71% of her games were victories. She led the Utes to the NCAA tournament 15 times, including the Sweet 16 in 2001, the Elite 8 in 2006. She also guided Utah to 14 regular season conference titles. And Elaine was a four-sport athlete in college. There was such a thing back then, right? Four-sport athlete in college, and the first woman inducted into the Boise State University Athletics Hall of Fame. First woman inducted. Please welcome back to the Huntsman Center, Elaine Elliott.
Well, this is really cool. This is really great. It's beautiful here. I can't see any of you, but I'll try harder when the lights come up. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, Mary. It's so exciting for me to be here tonight. What a wonderful commitment by Utah Athletics to months of celebrating the 50th anniversary of Title IX. And I am so honored to share with all of you the culminating celebration of the federal legislation that for 50 years has been helping to create opportunity and to empower women in sport. As with most change, you can point to a number of things that were influential during this period of time. But what is undisputed about the years between 1972 and now is that when federal law gets behind a movement, it has collective power, it applies to everyone, and it even gives culture a little push. What I know the most about is what I have seen, things that have changed me, and experiences that have made me feel something very deeply. The best way that I can showcase the opportunities that were afforded women by Title IX is to share my collective experience. Growing up in the state of Washington during the mid to late 60s, start counting, I actually had the opportunity to play multiple sports at my elementary school, where both boys and girls even traveled on school buses to go play away games. That was in Washington, where apparently the powers that be must have had daughters. Because fast forward to my 9th grade year when my family moved to Idaho, and where apparently the powers that be only had sons, because the junior high there had sports teams for the boys, but the girls only had a Saturday play day where I just went to play. The only team available for me to join was drill team, and though that did not help my sports skills, it did sharpen my skill set for rooting for the boys. In high school, the next year, there were sport teams for me to join, as long as I was an early riser and I could get up and practice at 6 a.m. And also, if I could quickly change from my afternoon game basketball uniform into my drill team outfit for the boys' evening game. You might also guess that my membership in the Girls Athletic Association would not have gained me any votes, even if I had been, but was not nominated for homecoming queen. Yeah, it's true. GAA, that's what we were, that was our group, GAA. Then in 1972, while in high school, some famous words were enshrined into federal law, paraphrased by me to say, no cheating us out of an opportunity to play just because we are women. That's right. It was no longer going to be necessary to hope that I lived in the right state. And from that time through 2003, high school female participation in sport grew 990%. I have always considered myself the middle child because that is what I am, but in this context, it's because my athletic life was neither as a pioneer of women's sports nor as an occupant of that beautiful practice building next door and its accompanying apartment-like office. During my tenure here, I moved from an inside concourse office to an outside window hallway office, and finally to a corner office looking over campus. So I just missed the golden grand slam of offices. And I have wished I could use that shower over there a couple times. In 1977, I graduated from college, having received my first athletic scholarship that very year, my senior year. And it was a full 10 years after Title IX became law that the NCAA offered the very first women's national championship tournament in 1982. My own coaching path began in the public schools, but I had to also teach. 2 years later, I accepted a graduate assistant position here at the U, but I also had to go to school. I loved high school coaching, but I did not want to teach. I loved college coaching, but I did not want to go to school at the same time. And then in '81, the U budgeted a full-time assistant position, and I could spend all of my time thinking and doing and just loving coaching basketball. You don't want to hear what my salary was, but I could afford my first couch as long as I purchased it with no finance charge over 6 months. But I did love that brown, fuzzy couch. 2 years later, I had the honor of being a head coach at this great university for the next 27 years. Yeah. My experiences from Play Day to national championships are the legacy of Title IX, and without a doubt, exhibit how that Title IX was the driver for enhanced sport opportunity for women. But the story of Title IX's impact on women's empowerment is neither as clear-cut nor as easy to define. The advent of Title IX brought more money to women's sports. It brought more opportunity for women to play, but it indirectly led to women losing the authority to govern their own sports. It actually led to the demise of the AIAW, which was the governing structure for women's sports at that time and was led by women. The empowerment of women after the enactment of Title IX is still apparent, but perhaps the reason is a little more nuanced. Once women are seen and heard, it creates interest and space for more women in leadership. When women are allowed a context in which to reach our potential, others experience our potential. Title IX did not give power to women. It provided opportunities for women to claim their own power. The dreams that are available to women athletes now are bigger and brighter. They are paid for, they are on TV, and they are numerous. But keep asking for more. And if they stop short, demand more. Law can move culture. Title IX impacted the very culture of sport and even beyond. Thanks go to people like Fern Gardner and Norma Carr and every unnamed woman before them. Thank you to every man who has supported this movement, either through the goodness in their heart or through the female they hired or through the budget they approved, perhaps over protests from others. And to the athletes who sit here tonight, I'm not asking you to remember things you didn't know about or things you didn't experience, though you might have loved that brown fuzzy couch I got. What you do have to do is remember that in all things, there is a larger village, and it takes doing things that are right for the whole village. Title IX was the right thing to do. That's what you athletes owe to the future. You need to demand the right things for the whole village. Title IX codified my dream through 50 years of law, and Utah is where I got the opportunity to live my dream. We all share the pride in what has been built here, and now we all stand vigil to ensure future dreams live on for all women. Go Utes. Thank you.
Okay, program's over. She just said everything we need to hear, but we still have more for you this evening. In 33 seasons, actually the first two people I got to interview here at the U when I first started 31 years ago were Elaine Elliott and Beth Launiere. And now we get to talk about Beth. In 33 seasons as the Ute volleyball head coach and still going, Beth Launiere has taken the program to 18 NCAA tournaments, including the last 6 years in a row. Utah has advanced to the Sweet 16 4 times under Beth, most recently in 2019, and they finished third in the Pac-12 conference the past 2 years. Now, the 4-time AVCA West Region Coach of the Year has a 631 win record at Utah. She is a graduate of Aquinas College, and Beth, tonight, she's on the road with the team this weekend. They have a game tonight. I think it's in about a half hour. She didn't want to miss the opportunity to be part of this big event tonight and share her thoughts with all of you in this video.
Hi, I'm Beth Launiere, head volleyball coach at the U. As many of you know, I've been here for a while. I've been watching so many of you in the audience tonight perform on the courts, on the fields, in the swimming pool. I've seen you walk past my office for 32 years. I've seen you in the training room. I've seen you in the weight room. In fact, speaking of weight room, women's basketball and women's volleyball, do you remember back in the day when Elaine Elliott and I actually lifted with the players? Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. I'm still going strong. I haven't retired yet, as many ask me often. I love University of Utah athletics. It's a part of me, as I know it is a part of so many of you all. Title IX has had a huge impact on all of our lives. I did want to share with you a small story about my experience with Title IX. I was a junior in high school, and a friend of mine and myself wanted to try out for the basketball team, but there was only a boys' team. So they knew they had to let us try out because of Title IX, and it was in its infancy. We made the team. The coach was fine with it. The administration didn't think it was right, however. So they created a play day for us. That was their idea of adhering to the law of Title IX. Think about that. We've come a long way since then, and the experience our women student athletes have today is probably unrecognizable by many of you. We have an Under Armour sponsorship. The name, image, and likeness is a thing. They can actually make money on that. We have huge fan bases for our women's sports. We're on TV a lot. Our women's volleyball team just this year is going to be on TV 13 times. There's over 80 women's volleyball matches being broadcast on the Pac-12. Who could have ever imagined back in the day? I couldn't have. And now many of our women student athletes are going on and playing professional ball as part of the norm. It's really, truly amazing how far we've come. Have a great time celebrating Title IX this weekend with each other. Have a beer for me. But let me leave you with these parting words. The fight isn't over. There's still battles to be played, battles to win. Keep supporting women in sport. It's the only way we get there, is if we're supporting each other. We've come a long ways. We've got a long ways to go, but where we are is because of all of you. We've done all this on your shoulders. So thank you, and have a great time. Go Utes.
Just amazing stories that we hear from these incredible women who really did blaze the trail, the pioneers in women's athletics and collegiate sports. And now to another name that we're hearing a lot tonight, an all-conference softball player at Utah from 1979 to 82, Jo Evans, returned to her alma mater as head coach from 1990 to 96. She ended up leading the Utes to a 222 wins, 4 NCAA tournaments, and 2 College World Series appearances. They even have a women's College World Series. That's pretty cool. Well, Jo was the head coach at Texas A&M from 97 through this past season and recently took over at UC Santa Barbara. She ranks 11th in the NCAA for career wins, 1,300 wins, 714 losses, and 2 ties in all those years. Please welcome Jo Evans.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here, and I wish I could see people's faces. When I thought about this, I had no idea how fancy this was going to be, and so then I got a little bit nervous when I got here, so I just have to say. But what made me even more nervous was coming down that tunnel, because I think my teammates would remember all the times that Norma, our coach, made a sprint up that tunnel. And I think one time I was breathing into a paper bag at one point. I'm not sure. So, but it's such an honor to be here. I absolutely love this place. I'm crazy about my alma mater. I grew up coming to all the games just as a kid. We were always the last people to leave the football stadium. The Seagulls were converging on the field, and we'd get kicked out of the stadium. So I'm a Ute through and through, and I'm just really grateful for this opportunity. I want to begin by thanking Mark Harlan and Charmel Green and their entire staff for putting together such a wonderful event celebrating 50 years of Title IX. I also want to acknowledge the people in my life who've worked tirelessly to create opportunities for me, my parents, my siblings, and my coaches and administrators. 2 women who had the most impact on me growing up in Utah and attending the U are Norma Carr and Fern Gardner. Thank you both for always fighting the good fight, and for your determination to make things better for women in sport. I know it came with a lot of battles and many challenges. Norma, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a student athlete at the U. I absolutely loved my experience. Fern, thank you for being a mentor and giving me the opportunity to be the coach at the U. An absolute dream job for me. Every female student athlete who's been lucky enough to wear the red and white owes a debt of gratitude to these two women. Title IX immediately brings up the thought of equality, fairness, and opportunity. And all of these certainly come to mind for me, but what stands out most at this age of my life and my career is family. What Title IX has provided me throughout my life is a rich, impactful, joyful experience with my immediate and my extended family. I have literally spent my entire life participating in and following Utah athletics. What's been most rewarding for me is the time I've spent with my extended family, my family known as the Utes. We owe a debt of gratitude to the U of U, to our athletics family who've raised us, nurtured us, and brought us to this big extended family. Let's make sure we take time in this 50-year anniversary of Title IX to acknowledge the loving, caring, nurturing family we all call the Utes. Thank you for fighting our battles. Thank you for leading us to our lifelong people, our extended, ever-growing family. The U is our home away from home, the place we should feel loved and supported, honored, and celebrated, the place we chose to grow as young women, and now the place we get to impact the next generations of women athletes. To every teammate I had the honor of playing with, to every student athlete I had the privilege of coaching, to every student athlete in this room, we're not done fighting for what's right. Let's make sure we give back. Let's honor the legacy of the women who came before and stay connected to our Utah family. These are our people, and this is our home. Go Utes.
More legends, and we keep hearing about some of the people who really did blaze the trail. And now another that blazes a trail here in Utah and around the country, regarded as the First Lady of Utah Gymnastics. Megan Marsden's contributions to the Red Rocks program have been plentiful and amazing. The former Megan McCunniff was actually a three-time national champion gymnast herself from 1981 to 84. She won 2 all-around titles. She remained with the program as a member of the coaching staff, was elevated to co-head coach in 2009, and just retired in 2019. Megan was part of all 10 of Utah's national titles, including 4 during her competitive career. We are grateful to have Megan here with us tonight, but as we see, we all get a little emotional when we're up here, and she decided she wanted to share her thoughts in a video presentation.
I'm so glad I have the opportunity to say a few words during this celebratory event. I have to be honest, as a young athlete, I did not fully appreciate or understand how fortunate I was for my opportunity to compete as a gymnast. I was a typical 17, 18-year-old worrying mostly about my own destiny and not realizing how close I was to not even having that chance. With time and reflection, it has become more and more obvious to me that I was one of the early female athletes to be able to realize my dreams. My teammates and I had a platform here at the University of Utah to work hard, to compete hard, and win. It was just the early 1980s, and Title IX had been ratified less than 10 years prior. How lucky were we? As my coaching career developed, it became such a joy to help other young women also realize their dreams. Our gymnastics program here at the University of Utah started in 1975 when, thanks to Title IX, the department needed to offer varsity sports for women. These dreams my athletes realized would never have happened without the passing of Title IX legislation 50 years earlier. Think about the women athletes who have trained and competed throughout all of these years, enjoying all of the benefits sports has to offer, and then carrying those attributes on into their adult lives in communities all over our country and our world. It is wonderful to have many of our female Utah athletes here this evening. I hope you're getting a better understanding of how fortunate you are to enjoy sports at the collegiate level. We have not yet reached equality, so there is still much work to be done. But I do hope as you play and compete on your teams that you carry that torch proud and carry it forward as a female athlete. Your future lives will be richer for it. Go Utah.
And real quick, Megan is here tonight, so we would like Megan, we have a little spotlight, Megan to stand and give a nice gymnastics wave and proper recognition. Thanks so much, Megan. You know, it takes a special person to be an athlete, a female athlete, and it takes an extra level of special to be a coach. I experimented with coaching after playing for so long. I ended up coaching the freshmen and sophomores in high school, and I found that my job wasn't the technical, amazing science that it takes to be a head coach. It was to let the girls fall in love with the game and have fun, and maybe learn some skills along the way. And that has to happen first before you enter this level. But these coaches, all that we've heard from, really take it to the next level and grow the sports, grow the kids, grow women. And it's amazing what they've accomplished here at University of Utah. And we've heard from some of the best all-time great athletes and coaches in Utah women's athletics history here tonight. But as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Title IX, this is also a wonderful time to talk about the present day and look to our future and their future. Our final featured presenter tonight is a member of the Utes women's track and field team, not just a member, she's a star. Maya Labar is a senior from Spokane, Washington. She's majoring in political science with an emphasis in law and politics, so she's a young badass. She has been part of the school record-setting 4x100 meter relay team. Maya also ranks in the top 3 in school history for 3 other events. She's involved in a lot of initiatives outside of competition, including the athletic department's Utah group, and Utah stands for United Together Against Hate. Please welcome Maya Labar.
Well, good evening, everybody. First, I want to thank the planners and organizers of this event for putting this on. It's amazing. I also want to thank Mark and Charmel, and as well Mike, too, for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all, so I appreciate it. Over the course of the past almost 5 years here as a Utah student athlete, I've come to learn more about myself than at any other stage in my life thus far. From coming to understand my personal dreams and goals to walking through some gratitude-invoking accomplishment, Utah has been the place for me. The University of Utah has provided me and led me to experiences and opportunities beyond even my wildest dreams, and for that I am truly eternally grateful. Not only have I grown tremendously as an athlete at the highest level of competition, but as a young woman entering the world and interacting with a slice of adult life for the very first time. My relationship with sport has had an obvious impact on me, and yet I cannot fully summarize my growth without attributing such a change to my relationship with my teammates and my relationship with education as well. My teammates are my sisters, my motivators, and my best friends. Without them on this journey, my growth would have surely stagnated. They inspire me each day. Similarly, the pursuit of an apt education and the opportunity to pursue knowledge in my chosen area of expertise has pushed me further and further each year to discover who I truly am. Throughout all of this, the legislation made within the bounds of Title IX have been the deciding factors and bolstering pillars of success within the vitality and livelihood of my young adult life. I can hardly imagine a world wherein my women's track and field team here at the U simply did not exist, and yet the hearts and will of my strong teammates did. However, in considering the impact and outreach of Title IX, I am forced to consider a world in which young women like myself weren't encouraged on an institutional level to be the powerful and awe-inspiring young women that we are. As a freshman here at the U, I was so thoroughly impressed by the facilities, mental health, nutrition, strength, everything provided to us, to all athletes within this athletics department. And I have to say, when I was a freshman, the Gatorade water fountain in the weight room was a big thing. But I took time to reflect and acknowledge the privileges granted to me by Title IX. And while I acted positively as a steward of the changes made by Title IX legislation, I wasn't really aware of the comparably boundless luxuries provided to me as a result. As a fifth-year senior, however, matured through understanding and education from female coaches, administrators such as Charmel, and icons such as Serena Williams and Allison Felix, I see the impact of Title IX all around me. I see it in the excitement and support I've received from other women athletes, the apprehensive and curious demeanor of my grandmother as she attempted to understand my love for athletics, and the adoration and pride within my mother's eyes. Title IX paved the way for me to be more than a woman, as well as more than just an athlete. It's created a rich ecosystem in which I've been able to explore academic opportunities and create lasting relationships that have and will continue to inspire change. I'm reminded of the age-old adage frequently told of how each generation should aim to grow trees to provide shade and shelter for generations to come, even if we personally aren't able to immediately reap the benefit. And I hope that I have been able to do so during my time here at Utah. Title IX left a great swath of shade for me, and it is my belief that in order to honor the fight taken on by those that came before us, we as women have to be empowered to use our voices. This is a privilege and a responsibility, encouraging us to provide the younger generation with the positivity and light that we were granted. And I believe that here at the U, we have taken that task very, very seriously. I encourage us all to continue to plant these trees, creating deeper connections with one another, and enriching our ecosystem for ourselves and other young women and girls alike. Thank you all so much, and go Utes.
Future Supreme Court Justice Maya Labar. Maybe. Before we finish the evening, we would like to pass along, make sure to remind you the proceeds from this event will benefit Utes with Wings. Now again, that's a program that enhances support for the women's athletic programs by funding team building exercises and retreats for all the teams, foreign and domestic travel, it helps fund that, facility enhancements, all the treats Maya talked about, and overall program development as well. And we now want to turn the lights on and have all the current Ute female student athletes here with us tonight. Stand for a moment. We want to recognize all of you. Lights up a little bit. Current female athletes. Look at that crowd. So glad to have you here tonight and to share your success with all of us. Now, these are the individuals that the Utes with Wings program benefits in so many ways, and we know they sincerely appreciate your support by being here tonight and helping out. And if you want to make a donation to the Utes with Wings program, you can scan the QR code on the back of the card that's on your table. They're on all the tables, and that'll take you right to the website. And for those of you who already contributed, we want to thank you once again for your support of women's athletics into the future. And athletics director Mark Harlan is in his 5th year now, guiding the University of Utah's 20-sport athletics program, leading tremendous success in competition, in the classroom, and in the community, while significantly enhancing student athletes' overall experience. We've heard incredible stories. The Utah Athletics program is coming off its most successful year in competition since joining the Pac-12 in 2011, posting its highest rankings in the Learfield Directors Cup in more than 20 years. And the Utes have performed at a record pace academically with 4 consecutive scores of 93% or higher in the NCAA graduation success rate. That's amazing. Last year, we came in second just to Stanford, so we can still do better, right? And to conclude our program for this evening, we would love to welcome Mark Harlan.
Wow. Just, Charmel, it was funny. She didn't want me to come down and see the setup today. She didn't want me to see all this. I think she wanted me to kind of take it all in like so many are today. And it's a little overwhelming. And I just want to thank her for her incredible leadership with the vision of this event tonight. It's remarkable. You know, it's a blessing to be in this leadership role here and to be around 600 student athletes who yearly chase their dreams. But it's especially incredible when you hear the stories of these amazing coaches tonight and the stories that they provided our female student athletes today. And I know it'd be fun to talk to all of them about what they got out of tonight and what they've gotten out about all the stories that we've been able to put forward about the incredible 50 years here at the University of Utah with Title IX. Maya, thank you for your words tonight. I just want to give another round of applause to Maya. She's remarkable in so many different ways. Maya, if you don't mind, in 2020 with the murder of George Floyd and all the things that went on and the learning I had to do and so many others, Maya was just a beacon to help guide us through that. She created our Utah group that helped with understanding and the go forward. And she's just an amazing leader. And I just want to, Maya, just appreciate you. Remember, you can get your doctorate here. You don't have to go anywhere. So we want to keep Maya here forever. And I'll make a comment, too, about that amazing graduate success rate. Who do you think leads that group? The women. Listen, I love all our teams, but let me tell you something. To our female teams, thank you. The guys are trying harder, and they're creeping up. They're in the 80s, and we're going to get them to the 90s where our women's teams are. But I want to thank everybody that spoke tonight, and I want to thank particularly our sponsors as well, who provided the opportunity for all our student athletes to be here tonight. It really has been an amazing journey for me as an athletic administrator. I was telling our swimmers in the back of the room when I came in tonight that I remember when I started getting into the upper levels of administration about 15, 16, 17 years ago, and I was at another Pac-12 school. And I remember that even then, it was kind of a spreadsheet situation with Title IX, right? And I know that all the coaches and administrators know what I'm talking about. It was making sure your spreadsheet was okay, that you're following the right prong of Title IX. And along the way, and I say this, absolutely true, the spreadsheets are gone. Because what it really is, it's about what do you believe in your heart, right? What kind of culture do you want to have in your department, right? And what kind of voices do you need on your leadership team? So it's no longer just about the dollar bills. It's about, do you care about your female success at your university? And I'm proud of this school because when I got here, thanks to the incredible leadership of folks you met tonight, Dr. Hill and others, who provided the understanding that not only are we going to make sure that our females thrive, they're going to win too, right? They're going to win in the classroom and they're going to win in competition. And on that note, let me give you a description of a week that I had last spring. And it started off getting in my car and driving up to see our female skiers compete in the national championship. That was at Park City, right? And then watching that, and it's just unbelievable, right? Jamming onto the airport, hopping on the plane, and where did I go? I had to catch up to our women's basketball team, who, Lynn, I know you're here. Members of our team are here tonight. What did they do this year? Got all the way to the Pac-12 final versus that school called Stanford, right? Gave them everything they wanted, and then they get into the NCAA tournament and go all the way to the second round. And then when that was over, didn't even get a chance to pack my bags. I think our gymnasts are over there. Table 15, can I see you guys? And then what happened to you guys, right? Chasing you guys around and typical going to watch them compete in Fort Worth, where again, they finished third in the country. Right there, just missed it. Just missed it. And that's just in like a 10-day period, right, of some of our teams. So again, it's just amazing to see the progress, but understand, the University of Utah's success has been built off our women's teams. Stop and think about that. Is there any doubt about that? There's not, right? Think about the success they've had, but remember, we define success here very clearly. It's not just in competition. It's what you do in the classroom and what you do in this community, right? So again, all of you that are here tonight, whether you've donated to us, whether you've competed for us, whether you've coached for us, or whether you're now competing, you've all had such a big part in this. So again, very, very grateful. But I understand the responsibility. I understand the responsibility in a couple ways. One, we need more female athletic directors. Flat out has to happen. Has to happen. We have this Pac-12 group. We like to call them the Pac-10 now, but I can't publicly get into that, right? But let me tell you who the leader of that room is. It's my friend Jen Cohen, who's the athletic director at Washington. She has a wisdom, a vision, and says things that just make a lot of sense all the time. And I think she's the only one in that room, and that's not right. In a conference that's extremely progressive, right? And being ahead of the, so we need to do that. I can assure you that one of my goals is to continue to hire powerful women into these positions, right? Charmel's a great example of that. I could go on to the other members of my senior team that are on our cabinet. We need that voice. We need that wisdom. The good news is nationally we're seeing more and more female athletic directors rising, and I think we're going to see a lot more. So we're starting to see, as Elaine alluded to, more and more of those voices, and I'm committed to making sure that I do everything in my power. The second thing that's really, really important, and Megan alluded to this, we're still not all the way there. We're still not all the way there, and that's the obligation I have to make sure that our female athletes have everything they need always to succeed. And so we really appreciate an event like that tonight, those of you that gives to Ute for Wings. But understand, President Randall, myself, our cabinet, many of whom are here tonight, thank you all for being here. We understand the importance in our role that we play in this. We are all in this together. So let's make this event, I don't know if we'll do a 75th, but since it was so fun, we probably will. Let's check ourselves and see how far. Hold us accountable to making sure we continue the rise. So appreciate everyone being here. So they asked me to introduce this video that's forthcoming. And again, I wasn't allowed to see it. But I'm told it's spectacular. And I want to really give a shout out to our incredible creative team. I know, Sarah, you're here tonight, your incredible video team. This is a remarkable video, I am told, that really blends all of the work that's been done by so many in the past with today's student athletes. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and start the video. Go Utes. Thank you all.
Salt Lake City, Utah, the official start time. The new number one, Danny Drews. There was history to be made.
But Utah makes him pay for the overdig and in.
Terrific performance by Utah, up and down.
And there it is, right there.
We go from one superb performer to another.
Oh, wow! That was amazing.
Their head coach of Women's College World Series.
Well, you're going to see a team that has a lot of pride for playing for Utah.
What a game that was to hear from Ute Field.
Utah's night, does it not? Back to back, the Red Rocks to the University of Utah, Petco Gymnastics champion.
This team is phenomenal under pressure.
University of Utah has advanced to the Pac-12 championship.
This place is going bananas right now.
It was a thriller here in Salt Lake City. The home team Utah gets it done.
And it really is a great night to be with you here in Salt Lake City.
That was amazing. Amazing teammates, amazing friends, amazing ladies, Olympians, professionals. Just an incredible tribute tonight. And like we said, we're still working our way there. We want to thank you all for coming tonight. Very special event. Means a lot to everyone here. And we want to thank the sponsors and the people behind the scenes who worked hard to put this together. I don't say 25 years, I say maybe in 5 we come back. And you can see all the sponsors on the screens as you exit tonight. And if you went through that hall, that's just very impressive. Special thanks to Mark Harlan and Charmel Green, her energy again, for organizing this wonderful celebration. We really all share in that, Charmel. Thank you. And real quick, a few notes before you head out tonight. I know there's still a lot more mingling to do, but photos of tonight's event, you can find those on the QR code on the back of your thank you pin card that's at your place setting. QR code there. The photos should be posted, they say, within about 24 hours. They've been sneaking candid shots. And for those who won any of the items that were up for auction, the silent auction items, and also for those of you who won the Lucky Sticker Contest, you can pick up your prizes the same way you came in. Pick up the items at the Legacy Hall. And if you won the auction items, they should be letting you know by text or email. So check your text or email now so you know what you need to pick up on the way out. And we'll also have golf carts to help everybody get to their cars, because there's a lot of walking here. And we would like to direct you to the exits available tonight if you are not used to being in here like I am in the circle. If you'd like to proceed directly to the parking lot and you have the stamina, you can go up the exit arena stairs at portal 23. Where's that? 23 over there? Okay. And the parking lot up the stairs to your left. Otherwise, you can exit the same way we came in, through that beautiful hallway, the north tunnel behind the stage. I hear that they used to have to run like lines back up in all the athletes who were here before, and it wasn't as nice as it is now. And they always say up here on the hill, it's a great day to be a Ute, and this one certainly feels even more special because we're Lady Utes, right? Thanks for coming, and have a good night, and go Utes.